Welcome back once again to today's session. This is session number 3, part 2, and with this we come to the end of today's presentations and PPTs, and I hope it has been a good learning experience for the day. And in this session we are going to learn about data manipulation and how can we import different types of files into our R Studio. So how do we extract the files? It might be an Excel file, a CSV file, text file. So we are just going to learn how we can extract different types of file in our R platform. Right, so let's start off first with data manipulation part. As we all know, data manipulation is more as getting some subsets or data out of your existing data frame that you have. And with this we are going to introduce and start using different types of packages in R. So for our data manipulation, data interpretations and all, a very useful package that we have in R is called as tidyverse. Tidyverse. It holds a lot of packages which you will be using it out in data manipulation and data visualization. So before we start off to the R Studio, all of you are requested to download this tidyverse package in your R platform. So you have three ways in which you can do it. One is of course in the console area, you have to type install.packages and in parentheses in double quotes you have to write the name tidyverse and then click enter and wait. It might take a few minutes before your package gets installed. The other way to do it is to go to tools, install packages, and in the packages name just write down tidyverse. The third way in which you can install is we have a window of files and packages. So just go to that packages tab. You have an install button over there. So click on that install button and in the name of the packages just write down tidyverse, Tidyverse. So you can use either of these three methods in order to download this particular package. So this package is going to make our work more easier and faster. A tidyverse package is very useful for your data manipulation, your data analysis and also for making your data interpretation. So it has really some good functions which can be used and which really makes our work much more easier. Right, so tidyverse is a combination of various small other packages also. So the first one that we have is a ggplot2. So this ggplot2, which is a part of your tidyverse package, will be extensively used for data visualization and graphical representation. So we'll take some insight into how to use this ggplot2 package which is downloaded along with this tidyverse package. So this is basically used for data visualization. The second is your dplyr package, which is basically used for your data manipulation. So this is extensively used for data manipulation and this is the package that we are going to use now for our next topic, that is going to be your data manipulation. So what are the different packages, what are the different functions available under this dplyr function? So we'll be using functions like arrange, filter, mutate, summarize. So these are all data manipulation techniques. For this we'll be making use of this dplyr package. The third and very important package is your tidyr. This tidyr package is basically used for data cleaning. So they help you to clean your data, they help you to make the data look tidy, which is easy for interpretation and easy for analysis. So this tells you how meaningfully you can arrange your data in a better way to get some good extractions out of your data. So we'll be of course learning tidyr also in our forthcoming sessions. The next and very important is your readr and readexcel. So they are basically your data importing packages. So they provide an alternative way in which you can read your Excel files in the R platform, and some basic functioning which is not covered in the basic readexcel can be usefully used in tidyverse readexcel package. Right, so these are some of the basic part of your tidyverse package. So we will be of course learning about all of them in our forthcoming sessions, and now we are going to start off with the first one, that is your dplyr for data manipulation. Right, so the dplyr package, these are the packages which are available consisting of many other functions which help us in data manipulation. So it is one of the most commonly used function, and it is a very powerful R package. The features of dplyr package, it transforms and summarizes the tabular data into rows and columns. So in this case they help you to transform as well as add new rows, or in order to extract few rows out of a given data set that you have. So for all these things we make use of this dplyr package. So what are the functions that we are going to learn today? Select function, filter function, arrange function, mutate function, and summarize function. So these are the 5 key functions which we are going to study using a dplyr package under data manipulation. Let us start off with the first one. So we'll just have a quick review of how it has to be done and what does each function do, and then we will shift on to RStudio to give a hands-on experience into the data manipulation tools. The first of this function is a select function. This function allows you to select a specific column from the large data sets. Now a data set which might have as good as 20-30 columns, so we may not require all of them for our data analysis, and we want to extract some specific columns to understand those particular variables better to use them for our data analysis. Right, so the basic format is select, and within parenthesis the first that you have is the name of the data set from which you want to select those columns, followed by the name of the column. You have to be very specific when you are writing the name of the data set and the name of the column. R is very case sensitive. So something which is written as capital SOME, and if you put a column name as small SOME, that will create an error in your R. So when you are quoting the specific column name or the specific data set, they have to be written as they have been stored. We cannot change neither the font spellings, neither the caps or the lower cases. So we have to be very careful with respect to the case in which we are writing and the case in which we are saving, so that it does not create any error when you are running this particular function. Right, in this case we are going to make use of certain built-in data sets which are already stored in R. So when you run this dplyr function, so you have stored in database by the name of Star Wars. So we will be using that particular data set in our forthcoming hands-on experience on your RStudio. So what are the things that we can do using a select function? The first one, select Star Wars. So the name of the data set is your Star Wars. The first one which states Star Wars is the name of the data set, and from that given data set we want to draw only the 2-column data, that is your gender and height. If required we might get only 1 column, that is if I just want to find out the height data, so in that case it would be Star Wars comma height. Or if I want to find out 2 or 3, so I can use multiple columns using the comma. The another way of representing multi-columns is if they are all present in a given range or are present combinedly. So like for example, if I want to draw the data from column 1 to column 5, so in that case it can be 1:5, provided all the 5 of the variables are in the continuous order. So if such is a case, in that case you can also download or select the function using colon. So like over here we have used select Star Wars height to skin color. So right from height to the skin color, all the columns or all the variables would be selected for your display. The next, there is also a possibility that you might download the data sets giving them the starting word or the ending word, like starts with, so it is starts underscore with birth. So all the variables, all the columns which are having a starting name as birth, all those particular columns would be extracted. So in the same way, if you want to select only those columns which have a specific end color, like over here you have a data which has skin color, hair color. So that means if I want to download those or select those particular columns only, so in that case we can make use of ends with option. The next is if I want to bring some key columns to the front followed by the others. So in this case, if suppose over here we can make use of the function like Star Wars is the name of the data set. I want the first column to be the name, the second column to be the vehicles, the third column to be the starships, and followed by all the other columns. So one which is of my priority, they should come in the front followed by the rest. So such kind of a select function is also possible. So even if you have rows which are at, suppose I feel that the second column, the 7th column and the 20th column, these three should come first followed by the others. So in that case I can use the 2nd, 7th and 20th column names and keep it first followed by everything. So this is another way of representation using the select function. Or you can also use selects giving a certain set of words or characters to say that the words which contain or the columns which contain these particular words or alphabets, only those columns should be selected. So these are various ways in which we can use the select function. The next that you have is a filter function. So this function enables easy filtering, zoom in and zoom out of your relevant data. And ideally over here you have two types of filters. They are called as a simple filter and multiple criteria filter. So when you are doing a filtering only by way of one criteria, it is called as a simple filter. If you have more than one criteria, it is called as multiple criteria filter. Now for example, filter Star Wars is the name of the data set, and gender double equal to means only those which have these words. So like if you put a single equal, it may consider males and male both. So if I put a double equal to means it will consider only if it has MALE. No other words would be considered, right? So that means I want to filter the data only of those who are gender is male. The second, like it says that height is less than 100. So the heights are given in centimeters. So I want to find out how many data variables do you have which is less than 100. So height is less than 100. Now for using a multiple criteria function, so you have two options. One is called the and the other is called as or. So and means if both the conditions are fulfilled, only then you will get the relevant data sets. Or means when you have either of the one condition being fulfilled, all those particular data sets would be extracted. Now when using a and function, you can either use an ampersand sign or in the other words putting comma. So any two categories that in or two criterias which you have included by way of comma. So the comma is by default treated as an and operation. So in this case, even if you don't use the ampersand sign and you can create criterias by comma, so then that would be treated as an and operation. So over here the second option that you have, filter Star Wars, either the height should be less than 120 or the eye color should be equal to yellow. Now for using this or option in our R functioning that you're trying to do, you might see a straight line above your enter key. So above your enter key you have a straight line which is shown. So for operating or using this R function, you just have to press shift and the button just above your enter button. So that is how we use the or operator in R. So multiple criteria filters can be done using either the or operator or the and operator. The next that you have is arrange the function. So this helps you to arrange the data in a specific order, either in the ascending order or in the descending order, or it can be like one nested under the other. So over here like you can write Star Wars, comma, height. By default it takes an ascending order. But if you want to have it in a descending order, then that needs to be specifically given to R. So in this case I want to arrange the data by way of height in the descending order. So in this case it would be descending, DESC, and in the brackets it is the column by which you want to go ahead and arrange your data. Same, if you see the second example, it says arrange Star Wars, height, and then birth year. So that means first the data would be arranged by height, followed by arrangement in the birth year. So in this case, first the selection or the filtering would be happening according to the height. Now if 3 or 4 people are having the same height, so in that case the next level of your filtering or arrangement would happen as according to the birth year. So by default, since we have not mentioned here descending, so it would be in the ascending order, that is from the smallest to the highest. Mutate. Mutate function, this is helpful when you want to add new variables to an existing data set and you also want to retain your old variable itself. So for example, in mutate function when I am using, I want to now add a new variable, a new height, which is equal to the old height data divided by 5. So in that case I can make use of the mutate function. So mutate Star Wars comma new height is equal to, new height is the name of the new variable which is going to get created. So what is the column name that you have given is new height, is equal to height divided by 5. Now most of the time when you are printing this particular result, you may not see where your column has been formed because the R console area is very small. So finding out if some data set which is having 20-30 variables, now looking for your 31st variable at the end may become cumbersome. So in that case we make use of this transmute function. So the transmute function, if you use instead of a mutate function, so it displays the new results variable only. So that means it will not give you the entire data set result over there. It will only give you the result of your new variable that you have created. So if you just want to check whether this new variable has been properly created or not, and you don't want to search for this new function or your new variable that you have created, you can make use of transmute function. So it would be transmute. So instead of just mutate, you have to use transmute. So in this case, the display would be only of the new variable that you are going to create. The next that you have is summarize function. So the summarize function summarizes the multiple values to a single value in a data set. So it can be by ways of finding out the mean or by finding out the median, or you can first group them and then find out the mean of those particular according to the skin color. So in this case there are various other options which are possible, or you can assign the mean or standard deviation to a particular variable and then find out that how it is working. So the summarization function is basically helping you to find out summarized single value for your data set. And now if you see most of the places you can see na.rm is equals to true. So that means by default it is NARM equal to false, means when your calculation of mean and median is done, NA is also included in it. Now if you don't want to include the NAs, that is the not applicable or your missing values when you are doing your summarization function, so in that case your na.rm should be set to true, so that your missing values or NA values are not included during the calculation of your summarization functions. Right, so now let us move back to the RStudio to get a hands-on on the data manipulation using the dplyr package in R. Right, so we are back to our RStudio. Now we are going to work on data manipulation, and for this data manipulation we have to call for we are going to use the dplyr package. So in that case, before you use any kind of a tools, you need to see to it that you are ticking on the package that you're trying to use. Now the package that we are going to use today for our data manipulation is the dplyr package. So once you have downloaded your dplyr package, so you can just go to this packages tab and type dplyr and see whether that is being available in the library or not. So if this is available here in the library, it means that the downloading has taken place. In this case, if your packages are not being seen, that means you have not downloaded that particular package. So in this case, to use this package, you have to see to it that it has been called for when you're using a RStudio. So that is can be done in two ways. One, either you click a checkbox over here. So that means you're now going to use the dplyr package for your data analysis, or in your console area, just type library and the name of the function that you're going to use. So in this case, your R console attaches that particular package. So that means all the objects and all the functions under this dplyr can now be used for you for making your any kind of data manipulation there. So either you click on the checkbox over here, or you call for using the library function. So from the library, you're calling this dplyr package, and it shows that now you're going to use this dplyr package in your further data manipulation techniques. Right, so now in this case, we are going to use a built-in data set Star Wars. So let us first call for this Star Wars and assign it to our own variable star. So let me create a variable star which will include the data frame of Star Wars, right? And just click enter. Now if you go and see in your environment, so you get that you have created a data frame star which has all the data of the Star Wars. So there are almost 87 observations, and there are 13 variables, right? And if you just click on this small icon over here at the corner, you will be able to view the entire data set. So if I just pull this down, so in this case you can find the data set which exists, and there are 13 variables. So vehicles, birth year, gender, skin color, hair color. So these are the various variables, the films, the vehicles, the starships. So these are the 13 variables and the complete data sets. There are almost 87 observations. So in this case, there are almost 87 observations and 13 variables. So now we are going to use this data set for going ahead for our select function. So now in this case, what we have to do over here is, now if you see 87 is a huge data number that we have, and 13 columns. So whenever we want to display this particular data frame, it becomes very cumbersome or messy or you'll not be able to like read and understand properly as to whatever is there in that particular table. So in this case, there is a very useful package available in your this tidyverse by the name of Tibble, right? So in this case, we will say that consider star as Tibble, right? So we want star to be considered as a Tibble table. Now what is a Tibble table? A Tibble table is very shortened version or the crisp version of a big data set. Now a data set which has huge number of variables and huge number of observations, they are very difficult to be displayed as a data frame. So in this case, Tibble makes it an opinionated data frame. So in this case, you are able to make a better interpretations out of the variables and the data structure that is there. So it makes your work a little easier, right? So once I have passed this, now let me just say print star, right? I have now passed that consider this data frame as a Tibble frame. So now if you see, in the same way, you have all these 13 variables which has come in. It also tells you what are the data structures of this concerned variables, and it is showing you that it only the 10 data set with 77 more rows and 4 more variables. So that means this gives you a small representative about the entire big data set, which is difficult to be displayed over here. So that is the reason, since the data set is big enough, we are telling it to consider it as a Tibble table. So Tibble is a shortened version of your big data set. So that is what is a function, and it comes in inbuilt along with your tidyverse package, right? So now we'll use the select function, right? So we are going to use the select function for our data manipulation, right? I think it would be better to clear the screen as it must be difficult to see from below. So let me say now we are going to use the select function, right? So now in this case we are going to make use of Star Wars. So select function, so we'll use select, right? So first you have is the name of the data set. So data set which we are using here is star, and we want to recover the data of gender and height, right? Or we can say I want to recover, suppose, name, gender and height. So these are the only three variable column data that I need. Click enter. So it gives you the name, the gender and the height, right? So this is how you can use a select function. Now to and from function, so how do you use it? Select, right? So our data set is star. Suppose I want to see the three colors, so hair color to eye color. So instead of writing the three names, I can write it as hair color colon eye color. So the range of value columns which I want to extract. So now this gives me hair color, skin color and eye color, right? So this is how you can do if there is a continuous set of columns which you want to draw. Now if suppose you want to use a select function which has birth in it or starts with birth. So how do we use it? A select function, right? The name of the data set is star, and I say it starts underscore with birth. Right, so it starts with birth. So then it will return me all those columns which are starting with birth. So enter, right? So you find that birth year, so you have only one column with the starting word as birth, so it is returning back the birth, right? Now next we want to have some variables which should be brought in the front followed by the others. Now if suppose I want to bring the name, the species, right? So suppose name is over here, species is over here, and let me say their vehicles, right? So I want to bring the name, species and vehicles followed by the other columns of data that we have. So how do I use that? Select star is our data set. So I first want the name, then I want the species, and then I want the starships, right? And then everything else should come. So everything is again a function, right? So in this case it will select the data set star, put the name, species and starships followed by everything. So now if you see, your name, species and the starships are your first three columns followed by all the other remaining columns, right? So this is how you can work with your select function. Now next let us go down to the filter function, right? So filter function, right? So in this case, let me say I want to filter the Star Wars data of only the gender male, or I want to do a simple filter where the height is less than 100. So in that case, filter function, so filter, name of the data set is star, and I want to do the calculation of simple calculation where the height is less than 100. So only return me the values or the data sets which are having a height less than 100, right? So in this case it shows me 7 with 3 more variables. So that means over here there are almost only 7 data sets with height less than 100, right? So in this case this is a single criteria that we have used. Similarly, you can also see multiple criteria filter. So this multiple criteria filter you can use if you want to see all conditions to be fulfilled. You can use commas in between. If you say either of the conditions to be fulfilled, you need to use the or symbol. Like I want to filter Star Wars, right? Our star data set is star, where the height is less than 120. Height is less than 120. If I use a comma, that means both the conditions should be fulfilled. And the eye color is equal to yellow, right? So I want to do the filter. So if I put a comma, eye color is the spelling, I've made a mistake. Okay, sorry, it has to be a double equal to, so that is exact value that it should read, which should be equal to yellow, right? So there are 3 more. So in this case, if you see, the eye color is yellow and the height is also less than 94. Now in the same way, if you want to use an OR function, so it would be, filter star is the name of our data set, right? So in this case, my height should be less than 100. For an OR function, so you have a pipe-like operator above your hand symbol, which has a slash, and above that a straight line. So you have to use that as an OR symbol. So it can be used using shift and that key, or some of your laptops may have it as a function plus that particular key. So it is immediately above your enter key. So the height should be either less than 100, or your eye color should be equal to yellow, right? So we are giving here an OR option, and then click enter, right? So now over here, if you find it is all yellow, the height over here, some of them are greater than 100 as well, some of them are less than 100 here. So here also you have an eye color which is red, but since the height is less than 100, it has been selected. Now this will give me a OR condition. So if I want either of the 2 conditions to be fulfilled, I can make use of this multiple criteria filter, right? Next that we go down to is your arrange function, right? So arrange functions by default gives you in the ascending order, but if you want to do it in a descending order, that needs to be specifically specified. So arrange the name of the data set, right? So if I want to be having it in descending, and I write here as GH height, right? So I want arrange the data set in the descending order of their height. So now if you see, height is arranged from the highest to the lowest. Now in case if I don't use this descending function, so let us see how is your output. So it is arranged star, and I just mention height. I don't mention whether in any of this particular order. So now if you see, it has been arranged in ascending order. So by default the arrangement is by ascending order. If you want it to be in the descending order, then that needs to be specified when you are using this arrange filter. Now same way, if I want to arrange multiple variables together, so in this case arrange star, I want to first arrange it by height. Now in this height also I can, if I want it to be in the descending order, I'll give it as a descending order of height, comma, followed by birth year, right? So now you find first is your descending order over here, and then if you find it is as according to the birth order. So now in this case, this is how you make an arrange filter work. The next, now I'm clearing the screen so that all of the things are clearly visible to you, right? So let us now move to the mutate function. Right, so mutate function helps you to add another variable. So first we'll just use the mutate function, and then we will use the transmute function to see how it is working. Right, so in this case mutate, I want to use the star data, the name of the new variable. So I want to create the variable by new height, which is equal to the present height divided by 5, and then click enter. So now if you see over here, there are 5 more new variables added. So if you can see, there is something called as new height which has been created, but since the number of variables are very high, so you are not able to get the display of this new height. So in this case, if you want to specifically see the display of your new variable, you can make use of transmute function. So transmute star, right? So new height is equal to height divided by 5, and then click enter. So now this specifically gives you only the new variable which you have created, right? The next that we move on to, and the last for today's day and for the function, is your summarize function, right? So in this case of your summarize function, so suppose we use is summarize star, right? Now I want to assign this particular thing to a variable. So in this case, let me say I create a variable average height, which is equal to the mean of height, and over here we are going to make na.rm equal to true. That means the not applicable values should not be considered when you are calculating your mean. Right, so now you get a new average height, and the average height of the data set is 174. Now we can also summarize it by forming it into different groups. So let me say I summarize, right, group by star the data set, and I want to group it by skin color, right? I want to summarize the data, but before finding out the summarization, I want to group the data according to the skin color, and then it is comma mean of height na.rm is equal to true. So that is, first it would be grouping by the skin color and then finding out the average height, right? So over here all the different combinations of the skin colors and what are their corresponding mean heights. So this is again possible if you want to group it. Now suppose if you want to group it by a hair color, so we can just copy this, right? So instead of skin color, I want to do according to the hair color, and then enter, right? So then this gives me all the hair color mean height, right? So this with this we come to the end of data manipulation and also to the day 1 different sessions. I hope the sessions have been interesting enough, and we request you to come forward with your queries and questions either onto the Google Classroom forum or where you can find your videos. So below the videos itself in the comment section, you can ask for any queries that you're trying to have. So with this we come to today's end session. Tomorrow we will start off with how do we import the files into the R. So till then, as usual, let us have happy coding. So thank you everyone for your patient hearing and enjoy. Sorry, I didn't write it in quotes, so R doesn't accept my happy coding, so it has to be in double quotes, happy coding. Yes, now they are also replies back to me as happy coding. So thank you everyone and have a nice day. Thank you.